Leo, what you release now opens the next level. Something you have been holding on to for far too long is about to lose its grip on you. And when it does, what rushes in to fill that space will change everything you thought you knew about what was possible for your life. This is not a small shift. This is not a minor adjustment. What is coming for you, Leo, is the kind of transformation that rewrites the entire story you have been telling yourself. And it begins the moment you decide to let go. If you have been feeling a strange heaviness lately, a sense that something needs to change but you cannot quite name what it is, then you are already standing at the edge of this breakthrough. The universe has been preparing you for this. Every challenge, every frustration, every sleepless night where you stared at the ceiling wondering if things would ever feel lighter, all of it was leading here. You are not behind. You are not lost. You are exactly where you need to be to receive what is about to unfold. But here is the part most people miss. Letting go is not about losing something. It is about making room. It is about clearing the path so that the next level of your life has space to arrive. And that next level, it is closer than you think. Stay with me through every single tip in this message, because each one builds on the last. By the end, you will not just understand what needs to shift. You will feel it. You will know exactly what to do. And you will finally have the clarity that has been just out of reach for too long. Let us begin. Tip 1. The weight you carry was never yours to hold forever. There is something you have been carrying, Leo, and it has become so familiar that you might have forgotten what it feels like to live without it. Maybe it is a belief about yourself that someone planted years ago. Maybe it is a memory that still stings when you let your mind wander too far into the past. Maybe it is a role you took on because nobody else would, and now it has become part of your identity in ways you never intended. Whatever it is, it has been sitting on your shoulders like an invisible weight, pressing down so gradually that you barely noticed how much heavier life has become. But here is what the energy around you is saying right now. That weight was never meant to be permanent. It served a purpose, taught you something. It shaped you in ways that made you stronger and more compassionate and more aware. But its season is ending, and if you keep holding on to it past its expiration, it will not protect you anymore. It will only slow you down. Think about it this way. When you carry a heavy bag for a long time, your body adjusts. Your muscles compensate. Your posture shifts. And after a while, you forget that the bag is even there. But the moment someone lifts it off your shoulders, you feel an immediate rush of relief. Your body straightens. You breathe deeper. You move faster. That is what is about to happen in your life, but only if you are willing to set the bag down. The universe is not asking you to forget what happened. It is not asking you to pretend that the hard things were not hard. It is asking you to stop letting those hard things define what comes next. You have earned the right to move forward without that weight. You have done enough carrying. You have been strong enough for long enough. Now it is time to be free. And freedom, Leo, does not come from fixing everything. It comes from accepting that some things were never yours to fix in the first place. Some burdens belong to other people. Some pain was caused by circumstances you could not control. And some of the stories you keep replaying in your mind have already taught you everything they had to teach. Let them go. Not because they do not matter, but because you matter more. Your peace matters more. Your future matters more. And right now, in this exact moment, the energy is aligned for you to release what no longer serves you and step into a version of your life that feels lighter, clearer, and more aligned with who you truly are. The next tip will show you exactly where this release needs to happen first, and it might surprise you. Tip 2. Your emotional patterns are the first thing that must shift. Before anything changes in your external world, something has to change inside. And for you, Leo, that internal shift starts with the emotional patterns you have been running on autopilot for years. You might not even realize you are doing it, but there are certain situations that trigger the same response in you every single time. Someone says something that feels dismissive, and you immediately shut down or fire back. An opportunity appears, and before you even explore it, a voice inside tells you it will not work out. Someone shows you genuine affection, and part of you pulls away because you are not sure you can trust it. These are not random reactions. They are patterns, and they were built by experiences that may no longer be relevant to the person you are today. The problem is that your nervous system does not know the difference between a real threat and a remembered one. When something in the present even slightly resembles something painful from the past, your body reacts as if the danger is happening all over again. Your heart races. Your walls go up. Your mind starts running through worst-case scenarios. And before you know it, you have made a decision based on old fear instead of present truth. This is where the release begins. Not by forcing yourself to feel differently, but by noticing the pattern when it shows up. Just noticing. That is the first step. When you feel that familiar tightness in your chest, or that urge to withdraw, or that sudden wave of anger that seems disproportionate to the situation, pause. Take a breath and ask yourself one simple question. Is this about right now, or is this about back then? 9 times out of 10, the answer will surprise you, because most of the emotional reactions that control your daily life are echoes of something that already happened. They are replays, not previews. And once you start seeing them for what they are, they lose their power. You do not have to fight them. You do not have to shame yourself for having them. You just have to recognize that they are old programs running on outdated information. And you have the ability to update that information. Every time you choose a different response, every time you pause instead of reacting, every time you let someone in instead of pushing them away, you are rewriting the code. You are telling your nervous system that the present is different from the past. And slowly, steadily, those old patterns begin to dissolve. This is not something that happens overnight, but it is something that happens faster than you think once you commit to it. The version of you that exists on the other side of these patterns is someone who responds to life with clarity instead of chaos. Someone who makes decisions from a place of peace instead of panic. Someone who can receive love and opportunity and joy without immediately bracing for the other shoe to drop. That version of you is not a fantasy. It is who you already are underneath the layers of protection you built when you needed them. And now that you do not need them anymore, it is time to let them fall away. What comes next will show you how this emotional shift connects to something much bigger that has been building in your life. If what you're hearing feels accurate, imagine what could happen if you applied this energy intentionally for 21 consecutive days. That's exactly what the 21-day program in the pinned comment is built for. Daily guidance, focused direction, and real momentum. If you're tired of staying in the same cycle, this is your structure. Tip 3. The relationship that needs your attention most is the one with yourself. Leo, you have spent so much energy taking care of other people, showing up for other people, being the strong one for other people, that somewhere along the way you forgot to turn that same energy inward. And I am not talking about surface-level self-care. I am not talking about taking a bath or buying yourself something nice, although those things have their place. I am talking about the deep, honest, sometimes uncomfortable work of truly knowing yourself. When was the last time you sat with your own thoughts without distraction? When was the last time you asked yourself what you actually want, not what you think you should want, not what would make other people happy, but what genuinely lights you up from the inside? If you cannot answer that question quickly, then this tip is specifically for you. The relationship you have with yourself sets the tone for every other relationship in your life. If you do not trust yourself, you will struggle to trust others. If you do not value yourself, you will accept less than you deserve. If you do not listen to yourself, you will constantly look to others for direction, and then feel frustrated when their advice does not fit. This is not selfishness. This is foundation. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and you have been pouring for so long that the cup is not just empty. It is cracked. The good news is that cracks can be repaired, but repair requires attention. It requires you to slow down enough to notice where the damage is. It requires you to stop filling your schedule with distractions, so you never have to sit with the uncomfortable silence. Because in that silence, Leo, is where the truth lives. And the truth is not always comfortable, but it is always freeing. Start small. Start by checking in with yourself at the beginning of each day. Not with a to-do list, not with obligations, but with a genuine question. How am I feeling right now? What do I need today? What would make this day feel meaningful instead of just productive? These questions might seem simple, but they are revolutionary when you have spent years ignoring them. Because when you start listening to yourself, really listening, you discover that you already have most of the answers you have been searching for. You know what needs to change. You know what is not working. You know which relationships are draining you and which ones are nourishing you. You know what you are afraid of, and you know what you are capable of. All of that wisdom is already inside you. It has just been drowned out by the noise of everyone else's expectations. So turn down the volume on the outside world for a moment. Turn up the volume on your own inner voice. It has been trying to get your attention for a long time, and what it has to say is going to change the direction of the next chapter of your life. But first, there is something else you need to understand about how timing plays into all of this. Tip 4. The timing of your life is not broken, it is precise. I know it does not always feel that way. I know there are moments when you look at where you are and compare it to where you thought you would be by now, and the gap feels enormous. I know there are nights when you wonder if you missed your window, if the best opportunities already passed you by while you were busy surviving instead of thriving. But I need you to hear this clearly, Leo. Your timing is not broken. It is not late. It is not behind. It is unfolding with a precision that your mind cannot fully comprehend yet, but your soul already knows. Think about every major turning point in your life. Not the ones you planned, but the ones that seem to come out of nowhere. A conversation with a stranger that changed your perspective. A door that closed and forced you down a different path. A moment of clarity that arrived just when you were about to give up. None of those things were accidents. They were perfectly timed deliveries from a universe that knows exactly when you are ready to receive. The problem is that readiness and desire are not the same thing. You might want something desperately, but if you are not yet equipped to hold it, to sustain it, to grow with it, then receiving it too early would actually do more harm than good. That job you did not get 3 years ago. If you had gotten it, you would not have learned what you learned in the position you ended up in instead. That relationship that ended when you thought it was forever. If it had continued, you would not have discovered the parts of yourself that only emerged after you were on your own. Every delay was a development period. Every detour was a masterclass disguised as a setback. And right now, as you listen to this, the timing of your life is converging on something significant. Multiple threads that seemed unrelated are beginning to weave together. Ideas you had months ago are suddenly becoming relevant again. People you thought you would never hear from are starting to reappear. Opportunities that did not make sense before are beginning to click into place. This is not coincidence. This is convergence. And it is happening because you have finally reached the point where you are ready, truly ready, to receive what has been waiting for you. But readiness requires one more thing, and most people overlook it completely. You have to stop fighting the timeline. You have to stop trying to force things into your schedule instead of allowing them to arrive in their own season. Control is an illusion, Leo. And the tighter you grip, the more life slips through your fingers. Let it flow. Trust the pace. And watch what happens when you stop trying to rush the process and start cooperating with it instead. The next tip reveals a pattern in your life that you have probably noticed but never fully understood until now. Tip 5. The people who are falling away are making room for the ones who belong. This one might sting a little, but it is one of the most important things you will hear today. Some of the people in your life are in the process of falling away. And it is not because you did something wrong. It is not because you are unlovable or difficult or too much. It is because your energy is shifting, and not everyone is meant to come with you to the next level. Think of your life like an elevator. At every floor, some people get on and some people get off. The ones who get off are not abandoning you. They simply reach their floor. Their journey with you is complete. And if you try to hold the doors open for them, if you try to drag them along to a floor they were never meant to visit, all you do is delay your own arrival. This is hard for you, Leo, because loyalty runs deep in your veins. When you love someone, you love them fiercely and completely. And the idea of letting go of a connection feels like a betrayal of everything you believe in. But there is a difference between loyalty and attachment. Loyalty says I will always care about you and wish you well. Attachment says I cannot function without you, and I will sacrifice my own growth to keep you close. One is love. The other is fear dressed up as love. And you deserve to know the difference. Look at the relationships in your life right now with honest eyes. Which ones fill you with energy and which ones drain you? Which ones feel reciprocal and which ones feel one-sided? Which ones celebrate your growth and which ones subtly try to keep you small? You already know the answers. You have known for a while. You have just been afraid of what those answers mean. But here is what I want you to understand. The space that opens up when the wrong people leave is sacred space. It is not emptiness. It is possibility. It is room for the kinds of connections that match the person you are becoming, not the person you used to be. And those connections are already on their way to you. You might have already caught glimpses of them. New people showing up with an ease that surprises you. Existing relationships suddenly deepening in unexpected ways. a feeling of alignment with certain individuals that you cannot quite explain but you definitely feel. Trust that feeling. It is pointing you toward your people, the ones who will not just witness your evolution but will cheer for it, grow alongside it, and match it with their own. But to receive them fully, you have to be willing to let the old dynamics dissolve without guilt, without apologizing for outgrowing what no longer fits, without shrinking yourself back down to make others comfortable. You are allowed to grow, Leo, and the people who truly love you would never want you to stop. Tip 6. Your body has been keeping score, and it is time to listen. There is a conversation happening between your body and your soul that you have been ignoring for too long. Every emotion you suppressed, every boundary you did not enforce, every time you said yes when everything inside you screamed no. Your body recorded all of it. And now it is speaking to you through tension, through fatigue, through aches and pains that do not seem to have a clear cause, through a general heaviness that no amount of sleep seems to cure. This is not your body failing you, Leo. This is your body communicating with you. It is sending you messages that your mind has been too busy to receive. And the message is simple. Something needs to change. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when things calm down. Now. Your body does not operate on your schedule. It operates on the schedule of truth. And when you live out of alignment with your truth for too long, your body becomes the alarm that forces you to pay attention. Maybe it shows up as tension in your shoulders from carrying responsibilities that are not yours. Maybe it shows up as stomach issues from swallowing words you needed to say. Maybe it shows up as exhaustion from performing a version of yourself that takes enormous energy to maintain because it is not authentic. Whatever the symptom, the root cause is almost always the same. You have been overriding your own needs for too long, and your body has reached its limit. The remedy is not just physical, although physical care is absolutely important. The remedy is holistic. It is about starting to honor your limits instead of pushing past them every single time. It is about resting when you are tired instead of reaching for another cup of caffeine. It is about saying no to the invitation that exhausts you just thinking about it. It is about stopping the performance and allowing yourself to simply exist without earning your place in the room. Your body is not your enemy. It is your most honest ally. It will never lie to you. It will never tell you what you want to hear just to keep the peace. It will always tell you the truth. And right now, the truth it is telling you is that the way you have been living is not sustainable. Something has to give. And the something that gives should not be your health, your peace, or your well-being. It should be the habits, the obligations, and the patterns that have been stealing those things from you. Start small if you need to. One boundary, one honest conversation, one night of genuine rest without guilt. These small acts of self-honoring add up faster than you think. And your body will respond. It will begin to relax. It will begin to trust that you are finally listening. And as it releases the tension it has been holding, you will feel a wave of energy and clarity that reminds you of a younger version of yourself, the one who had not yet learned to ignore their own needs. That version of you is still in there, and it is ready to come back to the surface. What I am about to share next connects this physical release to something even more powerful happening in your inner world. Tip 7. The story you keep telling yourself is the ceiling you keep hitting. Every single one of us carries a narrative about who we are and what we are capable of. And for most of us, that narrative was written a very long time ago by people who did not fully see us, by circumstances that were temporary, and by conclusions we drew when we were too young to know any better. Leo, you are no exception. Somewhere in your mind, there is a story running on repeat. Maybe it says you are not quite smart enough. Maybe it says that good things do not last for people like you. Maybe it says you have to work twice as hard as everyone else just to get half as far. Maybe it says you are too old to start over, too set in your ways to change, too far gone to dream big again. Whatever your version of that story is, I need you to understand something fundamental. It is not true. It was never true. It was a conclusion based on limited information, drawn during a limited time in your life, by a limited version of you that no longer exists. And yet you keep living as if that story is the final word on your potential. You keep making choices that confirm it. You keep avoiding risks that might disprove it. You keep surrounding yourself with evidence that supports it while ignoring all the evidence that contradicts it. This is not a character flaw. This is how the human mind works. It seeks consistency. It wants to be right, even when being right means being stuck. And so it filters reality through the lens of whatever story you have accepted about yourself and shows you only what matches. But here is the power you have that your mind does not want you to discover. You can change the story, not by pretending the past did not happen, not by pasting positive affirmations over deep wounds, but by deliberately choosing to interpret your experiences differently. That failure you keep pointing to as proof that you are not good enough. What if it was actually proof that you are brave enough to try? That relationship that crushed you? What if it was proof that you have an enormous capacity to love? That period of your life where everything fell apart? What if it was proof that you can survive anything and come back even stronger? Same events, different story, and the story you choose determines the life you live. Starting today, I want you to pay attention to the automatic thoughts that arise when you are facing something new or challenging. Listen to the narrator in your head. Is it encouraging you or discouraging you? Is it reminding you of your strength or rehearsing your failures? Is it opening doors or closing them? Once you hear that narrator clearly, you can begin to talk back. Not with denial, but with evidence. Remind yourself of what you have overcome. Remind yourself of the times you surprised even yourself. Remind yourself that the person who wrote that old story did not have access to the wisdom, the resilience, and the depth that you have now. The new story is not something you have to invent from scratch. It is already emerging. You just have to stop drowning it out with the old one. And when you do, Leo, the ceiling you have been hitting will dissolve. Because it was never real. It was only made of words. And words can be rewritten. Tip 8. The abundance you seek is already responding to the energy you are shifting. Let us talk about something that many people misunderstand about abundance. It is not something you chase. It is not something you earn through suffering. It is not a reward that gets handed to you after you have struggled enough. Abundance is a frequency, and you either match it or you do not. For a long time, Leo, you have been operating on the frequency of lack. Not because you are negative or ungrateful, but because life taught you to brace for impact. Life taught you to prepare for the worst. Life taught you to hold tightly to what you have because it might be taken away. And all of that bracing, all of that preparing, all of that holding tight, it created an energetic pattern that actually repelled the very things you were trying to attract. Think about it. When you grip something tightly, your hand is closed. Nothing new can enter a closed hand. When you brace for impact, your body is rigid and resistant. Nothing can flow freely through rigidity. When you prepare for the worst, your mind is focused on scarcity, on loss, on what might go wrong. And whatever your mind focuses on most becomes the lens through which you experience reality. This is not about ignoring practical concerns or being reckless with your resources. This is about the subtle but powerful difference between managing your life from a place of fear and managing your life from a place of trust. Fear says save everything because there might not be more. Trust says use what you have wisely because there will always be more. Fear says do not invest in yourself because what if it does not pay off? Trust says invest deeply in yourself because you are the most reliable return you will ever find. Fear says stay small because growing is risky. Trust says grow boldly because staying small is the biggest risk of all. The shift you are making right now, the releasing, the letting go, the rewriting of old stories, all of it is changing your frequency. You are moving from lack to enough, from enough to abundance. And as that frequency shifts, the evidence of it will start showing up in your physical reality. It might start small, an unexpected refund, a compliment from someone you respect, a flash of inspiration that excites you for the first time in months. Pay attention to these things. They are not random. They are confirmations that your energy is shifting and the universe is responding in kind. The bigger manifestations will follow, but they build on the foundation of these smaller ones. So celebrate them, acknowledge them, let them fill you with the confidence that comes from knowing you are on the right track. Because you are Leo, you are finally moving in the direction you were always meant to go. And what you are about to learn next will help you accelerate that movement in a way you might not expect. Some people watch, others transform. If you want to be in the second group, the 21-day guide in the pinned comment gives you a clear step-by-step process aligned with your sign. This isn't about waiting, it's about moving. Tip 9. Forgiveness is not about them. It is about unlocking your own future. This is the tip that most people try to skip. This is the one that feels the hardest to accept. But Leo, if you truly want to step into the next level of your life, you cannot carry unforgiveness with you. It is too heavy, takes up too much space, and it poisons everything it touches, especially the good things you are trying to build. Let me be very clear about what forgiveness is and what it is not. Forgiveness is not saying that what happened was acceptable. It is not saying that the person who hurt you was right. It is not inviting them back into your life or pretending that the wound does not exist. Forgiveness is a decision you make for yourself. It is you choosing to stop drinking the poison and hoping the other person gets sick. It is you reclaiming the energy that has been locked up in anger, resentment, and replay. It is you deciding that your future is more important than your grudge. And that decision, as difficult as it is, will free up more energy than you can possibly imagine. Think about how much mental space unforgiveness takes up in your day. The conversations you replay, the scenarios you reimagine where you said the perfect thing at the perfect moment, the fantasies of vindication where the other person finally realizes how wrong they were. All of that mental activity is exhausting, and it is happening in the background of your consciousness all the time, draining your battery without you even realizing it. What if you could reclaim all of that energy? What if instead of running those old programs, your mind was free to dream, to plan, to create, to imagine a future that excites you instead of replaying a past that haunts you? That is what forgiveness gives you. Not closure with the other person, but freedom within yourself. And here is something else that might help you get there. The person who hurt you is operating from their own pain, their own limitations, their own unhealed wounds. That does not excuse what they did, but it does explain it. And sometimes, understanding the explanation is enough to loosen the grip of the anger. You do not have to tell them you forgive them. You do not have to call them or write them a letter or have a conversation. Forgiveness can happen entirely inside your own heart. It is a quiet, private decision between you and yourself. And the moment you make it, truly make it, you will feel a shift that is almost physical. A lightness, a release, a sense of space where there used to be constriction. The energy of forgiveness does not just heal the past, it activates the future. It tells the universe that you are no longer defined by what was done to you, that you are bigger than the wound, that you are ready for what comes next. And what comes next, Leo, is extraordinary, but only if your hands are open to receive it. And you cannot open your hands while they are still clenched around old pain. Let it go. Not for them, for you, for everything that is waiting on the other side of that release. This next tip will show you exactly how to channel all of this newly freed energy in the direction that matters most. Tip 10. The next level is not a place you arrive at, it is a person you become. This is where everything we have talked about comes together. All the releasing, all the forgiving, all the pattern breaking, all the self-honoring. It was never about reaching a destination. It was about becoming someone. The next level of your life is not a place. It is not a certain amount of money in your account. It is not a relationship status. It is not a job title or a number on a scale or a house in a particular area. Those things might come, and they very well might, but they are byproducts. They are the natural result of something much more fundamental. The next level is the person you become when you stop living from fear and start living from truth. It is the person you become when you stop seeking approval and start giving it to yourself. It is the person you become when you stop waiting for permission and start walking through the doors that have been open the entire time. Leo, you have been looking at the next level as something outside of you, something to reach for, to strive toward, to earn. But the truth is that the next level is already inside you. It has been here all along, waiting patiently for you to stop looking out there and start looking in here. Every tip in this message has been pointing you in the same direction. Inward, toward the parts of yourself you have been avoiding, toward the truths you have been afraid to face, toward the potential you have been too scared to fully own. Because owning your potential means you can no longer hide behind excuses. It means you can no longer blame circumstances or other people or timing for where you are. It means taking full, complete, absolute responsibility for your life. And that is terrifying, but it is also the most liberating thing you will ever do. When you fully step into who you are, not who you were told to be, not who you think you should be, but who you actually are at your core, something remarkable happens. Decisions become easier because you know what aligns with you and what does not. Relationships become healthier because you are no longer performing or pretending. Opportunities become clearer because you can see them through the lens of your authentic self instead of through the fog of other people's expectations. You stop second-guessing. You stop overthinking. You stop asking everyone else what they think you should do, and you start trusting the voice inside that has been whispering the answer the entire time. This is not arrogance. This is alignment. And alignment is the most powerful force available to you. When your thoughts, your words, your actions, and your energy are all pointed in the same direction, nothing can stop you. Not doubt, not criticism, not setbacks, not even your own history, because you are no longer operating from who you were. You are operating from who you are choosing to be. And that choice, Leo, is what opens the next level. Not someday, not when the stars align perfectly, not when every fear has dissolved and every question has been answered. Right now, in this moment, with everything you currently have and everything you currently know, the next level is available to you right now because the next level is you. Leo, if you have made it this far, I want you to know that this message was not an accident. Out of everything you could have been doing right now, you chose to be here. And that choice says more about you than you realize. It says you are ready. It says you are aware. It says that somewhere deep inside, you already know that something significant is shifting and you wanted confirmation. Consider this your confirmation. Everything we talked about today, the weight you have been carrying, the emotional patterns that have been running your life, the relationship you have with yourself, the timing that seemed broken but was actually perfect, the people falling away to make room for the ones who belong, the messages your body has been sending, the stories you have been telling yourself, the abundance that is already responding to your energy, the forgiveness that unlocks your future, and the realization that the next level is not a place but a person. All of it is connected. All of it is part of the same beautiful, messy, profound transformation that is happening inside you right now. You do not need to have it all figured out. You do not need to execute every single tip perfectly by tomorrow. You just need to start. One release. One honest conversation with yourself. One old pattern interrupted. One moment of choosing trust over fear. That is enough to set everything in motion. And once it is in motion, Leo, it builds momentum on its own. The universe does not need you to carry the full weight of your transformation. Just needs you to take the first step, and then the next one, and then the one after that. Each step lighter than the last. Each step more aligned than the one before. Each step bringing you closer to the version of your life that has been waiting for you on the other side of everything you are finally willing to release. You are not starting over. You are starting from a place of wisdom, experience, and depth that only comes from having walked the road you have walked. And that is not a disadvantage. That is your greatest asset. The next chapter of your life is not just going to be different, Leo. It is going to be the one you look back on as the turning point, the moment everything shifted, the season where you finally stopped holding on and started moving forward. That season is now, and you are ready for it. You have two options after this video. Close it and hope things shift, or decide that the next 21 days will be different. If you choose the second, the structured 21-day transformation aligned with your sign is waiting in the pinned comment. The energy is already moving, the only question is whether you are.